All right, in this episode, we talk about golfer's elbow
and why Tim Lincecum went from the freak to weak.
All right, Brent Porcio, Stephen Godani here at the @TopVelocity hashtag Pitch and Tip Show, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, @TopVelocity, hashtag Pitch and Tips, hashtag Baseball Tips. We want to answer your question, put it out there. We're going to get it on the show. We're going to ABCA convention. We've been talking about it for a while. Hopefully we'll have a lot of group of people come in there to watch us or see us. Check us out at the trade show. We're in there with King of the Hill. We'll have a lot of guys hanging out with us. David Ardsma, get a little DA autograph if you want it. Zinger will be there. If you haven't, look up the Zinger, John Heisinger, Justin Ottman, 3X coach Justin Ottman. This guy, Kevin Schultz. It's going to be fun. So we'd love to see you there.
Is Andrew coming, Justin's friend? Or Justin's strength coach?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think he's coming. But if we're going to shoot some episodes there too, maybe we could get you in on an episode. But yeah, looking forward to it. Keep your questions coming. What's the question for today? Hood Baseball asks, I have been diagnosed with golfer's elbow. What can I do to get rid of it, and how can I prevent it from lingering around? I have to say, I've never heard him call it golfer's elbow because you got tennis elbow, you got baseball shoulder, or other than Little League shoulder. They call it the Little League shoulder.
Oh, really?
So I would just say, if you don't want...
No, Little League elbow.
Little League elbow, Little League shoulder, same thing.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I would just say stop playing golf, right? maybe you're playing too much golf. I don't know. I mean, I don't even know what it is. So if golfer's elbow is tendonitis, it's another way of saying tendonitis. To me, that tendonitis is overuse and weakness. So the joint was weak, you overused it, there's a lot of inflammation in the tendon. The tendon's a lot broken down. Obviously not fully injured, beginning of injury. Not a good place to be, really isn't. It's annoying. It lingers. There's no way to get out of it without rest and then move into rebuilding. And that's really what you got to do. You got to give it just some time to cool off. I know a lot of guys out there don't believe in icing. I still believe in icing initially, specifically when you have something inflamed. And then, of course, stem. It's a great way to, pump the lymphatic system, which helps bring in the circulatory system, bring in good blood, move out bad. And then it also helps strengthen the joint. But then you need to go into a good joint integrity routine. We talked about this before. It's not just joint integrity. You got to do everything in the body. And then you got to get better mechanics. And if you're playing golf or bowling or anything that can be abusive on the arm while you're trying to be a pitcher, those things, guys, you probably just need to lay it aside and do it in a different season. Do it outside of the season of you training or playing or after you've finished playing baseball. So that's just one of those things is you got to prioritize sometimes those added sports that are hurting your one sport that you're trying to be an elite at. I would say get rid of it. Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I just like the kinetic chain in baseball. You probably can have people in golf. There's a lot of, I'd imagine there's a lot that they're one of the first ones to start looking at biomechanics, right?
Yeah, I think golf is incredibly advanced.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe you're somewhere in your kinetic chain, you're messing up and overcompensating with that golfer's elbow. I don't know what that is either, and I don't know anything about golf really, but that's one place I would start, is kind of try to look for a link in the chain, and then maybe start looking into what Rory McIlroy is doing. He's lifting heavy weight and turning himself into a little bit of a golf beast, so I think it's pretty impressive what golf's got going on. They almost look like they have a better knowledge about it than baseball, so it's kind of embarrassing, but funny at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, glad you bring that up, because Kurt Hester was my strength coach, strength and conditioning Hall of Fame, head strength coach at Louisiana Tech, very influential to me in my career and discovering, developing the 3X programs. He used to always say baseball is behind golf when it comes to the advancements of strength conditioning in the sport, which is kind of sad when we think of that. We don't think of golf as like great athletes, but once again, that's a baseball mind thinking completely wrong, right? So we've been brainwashed and look at sports like golf and how advanced they are in every aspect of the sport, strength and conditioning and biomechanics.
Yeah.
All right, good question. This next question is for Steven, because I'm going to give it to Steven. Jack Anderson asks, is swimming effective for baseball players gaining strength?
It just instantly I know why he gave this to me, because of Tim Lincecum doing his swimming, and he knows I'm a big Tim Lincecum fan, and I was always a huge fan. Even I'm still to this day, but Tim Lincecum did the same thing where he went on like a swimming little workout thing, and look how it worked out for him, man. That's pretty much the only answer I can give, because
well, I mean, say more than that. So if someone like Tim Lincecum's watching this, tell him why that's not a smart choice.
I mean, you're not pushing heavy loads. You're not telling the body to adapt. You're not working power. You're not working the range of motions that you're going to be using on the pitching mound. You're not addressing any of your deficiencies in mobility. There's so many different things that if you're just going to go with a swimming approach, like this is going to help you gain strength and gain velocity. You can, to like a certain extent, work endurance and maybe build some shoulder strength and whatnot. But if you're a person who has tons of deficiencies coming from mobility, maybe you're not strong enough, maybe you're not moving fast enough, maybe you can't get your range of motions and your mechanics, how is swimming going to help you with that? There's not much it can do. So if you're a person that's got, can't get any trunk rotations, got terrible hips, and can't squat 200 pounds and he weighs 200 pounds,
yeah, I mean, I think that's what it comes down to, Tim, is that anti-gravity. That's what swimming is. You're in an anti-gravity environment. And to hypertrophy or develop more power, activate more motor units, we do the opposite. We try to, triple or, 10 times gravity is what we do when we put loads on ourselves.
Yeah.
We actually want to do the opposite. And that's what Tim Lincecum, when you have a little guy who obviously genetically had a lot of speed, but as he aged, it's the one thing we lose the fastest, didn't understand that his body actually needed not just gravity, but more gravity on, more forces and loads on his body to keep his body moving more explosively as he aged.
Absolutely.
So he needed more loads as he aged to keep his body there, and he actually removed more loads, and that's what...
Losing weight, swimming, just went in the complete opposite direction.
He went in the opposite direction of where speed and power...
I'm still heartbroken about it, man. It's hard for me to talk about it.
Right, and unfortunately, look where he is today. Hopefully he can make a comeback, but he's going to have to, obviously, if Tim Lincecum is going to make a comeback, he's going to have to go into an approach of loads, gaining strength, gaining power to overcome his aging. And like we did with David Ardsman.
It back, yeah.
It's like David Ardsman came in here, looking like a shell of himself, aging, injury, similar injuries that Tim Lincecum has had.
Yeah, actually.
Or, hip problems. Mm-hmm. And we did the opposite. And his doctors didn't want him to do it. We put loads on him. We forced his body to hypertrophy. We forced his body to activate more motor units. Hypertrophy, more fast twitch muscle fiber, not slow twitch. And that gave him size, that gave him power, speed with that size, and that gave him his ball speed back.
Absolutely.
And of course, technically, we fixed some things as well. So it's like swimming, guys, when you're young, you might not experience it. You might not experience the effects it has on your body. But you will when you're older. So if someone's doing swimming at 18 as opposed to swimming at 28, is going to be completely different. You're going to really see more what swimming does to a body or does to a power athlete at 28 years old, where the body needs all the help it can get. At 18, your body's still producing testosterone, still wanting to naturally grow at that point, and you might not see it, but you will definitely see it later in life. That's why even at 18, I wouldn't recommend it, because you never don't need an edge. Who doesn't want an edge? If we could throw 120 miles an hour, we'd do it. So you always need an edge. So you don't want to do something like swimming that doesn't give you an edge at all in this game. Mm-hmm. It gives you no edge. So there's really no benefits at all for swimming, unless you were saying, well, I need the joint integrity, or it's post-injury. Post-injury, sometimes you want to stay in anti-gravity environments because the joint can't handle the load until it's ready, until it strengthens, and then it can start handling the load. So I would use it for injury. I would use it for a little bit, maybe if I want to do a creative shoulder routine for the day, I might go in a swimming pool, fine. But I definitely would not make that the majority of my workout. I would never train my prime movers in there. I don't want to be in there. I don't want to be in a pool. I did it when I did it.
Unless you want
up.
to be Devontae Wilson and jump out
Yeah.
from 5 feet.
If you want to jump out of the pool, that's a different.
Yeah.
But no, I did it when I was young. I was experimenting with it. It was all shoulder stuff, but also they put me in a pool after rotator cuff tear, and it was a good place for me coming out of that. But I had to quickly get out and get where I needed to be, which is in the loads, and I did. And I spent a lot of time. Look at Nolan Ryan, 44 years old, in his 7th no-hitter. The announcers said they talked about how he lifted 80,000 pounds a week. Nolan Ryan, 44 years old. They said the secret to success is weightlifting. At 44 years old, where you're still throwing in the upper 90s, and he was lifting 80,000 pounds a week. 44-year-old doing that, and then you got Tim Lincecum, closer to the end of his career, doing totally opposite things. So, come on. It's like, you got to see if someone like Nolan Ryan has proven it like that. If someone like, who else was it? You can go farther back. Bob Feller. He was a farmer. I mean, he was a guy doing all this manual labor, building strength, and then he became a fitness expert later in life. And then you look at, of course, the Roger Clemens and era. Even though this is when we're getting into drugs, but still lifting is a big thing around that. And even till today, with Noah Syndergaard, with Chapman, with Shelby Miller, with David Ardsma, guys now that are really benefiting from lifting. Swimming would not be a smart alternative. It's the complete opposite.
Yeah.
All right, good question. If you have another question, go to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, ask your question at Top Velocity, #pitching tips, #baseball tips. We'll answer it on the show. Come down, check out Top Velocity, or come out, check out the 3X Velocity programs. Come down to the 3X Velocity camps. TopVelocity.net has all that. And we'll see you on the next episode.
Yeah. Hold on, we them boys. Hold on, we them boys.